sorry for me, I'm a bit short. Okay,
Steady your time, one, steady.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, great.
Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Action.
Well, thanks very much for being here. My name is Jess, and Liam just took away my opening line. We're working, Future First is working to revolutionise careers advice in the state sector, and we do this by building networks for former students to inform and inspire current pupils about the options that are open to them. I don't know how many of you saw a story that was in lots of papers last week, hidden amongst all the election news, but that's that social mobility is still lower in Britain than anywhere else in the Western world. And what this means is that in the UK, if you're poor, if your parents are poor, you're more likely to be poor here than in America, Germany, France, and it means that if you went to a school like mine, it doesn't matter how hard-working you are, how bright, how motivated, if your parents didn't earn much money, chances are you're not going to either. And Future First is working to change this. We think this is unfair, and we're working to change this. We want all young people to fulfil their potential. And we want the factor that determines what they go on to do, not to be what their parents are doing, but to be them and their choices. And I just want to quickly ask you a couple of questions. How many of you have ever gone and sought some careers advice, maybe from friends or family? Just stick your hands in the air. It's a good break, lots of people. And how many of you have actually gone and given careers advice at any point? Again, right, lots of people. And of the people that Future First works with, half don't know anyone in a job that they would like to do. Half. So not only do those people not have people to go and get a bit of careers advice from, they actually don't have role models to show them that work can be a good thing, work can be a fulfilling thing, something where you can use your skills. So of course they don't get to know what kind of, don't get advice on what GCSE options would be good or where to go and get work experience. And the consequence is that my friend, who was great at maths and could have gone to use that skill in all sorts of different ways, is stacking the same shelves in Norwich Primark as my friend who spoke loads of languages and no one told her these were useful. So careers advice at home can often be lacking. So the careers advice you get at school is absolutely crucial. But we went and asked the pupils that we work with in some of London's toughest schools how they found their careers advice. And they didn't think it was great. They found it wasn't relevant to them. They didn't want to hear from professional careers advisors or from teachers. They wanted to hear from people actually in jobs. And they wanted to hear from people they could relate to. So Future First took this feedback and we built our model around the needs of young people. And Future First is building networks for former students to give young people those role models they need and to bring in elements of real life experience that will bring their careers advice to life and make it relevant. We do this in 4 steps. First, we work with the school to go and find former students from a whole range of different jobs, from like bus driver to brain surgeon. And then once we have that network, we reconnect them with the school. First through a curriculum of events with school pupils, and second through a website that we build bespoke for each school so kids can log in and they can read about different careers that their alumni have gone on to do. And finally, we leverage that network to open up opportunities for young people. So work shadowing, internships, that kind of thing. And what we're doing isn't rocket science. I mean, this is a model that's proven to work. Private schools and universities have done this for generations and it absolutely works, but no one's taken the time to do this in the state sector. And no one's taken the time to just put the school back in the heart of the community, which is absolutely where it belongs. Future First charges schools for this, which is so important because it ensures their buy-in, it shows they value it. But we subsidise this, and we subsidise it a bit through grant funding, but also through our corporate partnerships programme, which we're developing to help businesses engage with their community. And it's brilliant because it opens up more opportunities for the pupils. Just last week we had 14 kids from some of London's inner city schools in shadowing people from Taylor Westing, who's one of our big corporate partners. And it was great. And that's the thing, when kids come to us, it's not that they don't have CVs, it's just they don't have anything to put on them. And even if they did, they wouldn't know where to send it. And we give them not just that kind of information about different jobs and the role models to show them what they can do, we're actually giving them that concrete advice so that if their CV lands on any of your desks, you might give it a second glance. Now, I'm here tonight to ask you to support Future First. We've had a great success today. We're quite young, but we're now working across 3 boroughs already. And the schools we work at, we really target those challenging schools. Those that have a lot of pupils on free school meals, lots of English as a second language. Yet every single one of our schools pays us because they value our service that much. Now next year we want to have corporate partners sponsoring all of our schools, but in this September we have 3 schools that want to run Future First, and yet we don't have corporate partners for them. So we need a further £5,000 for each of those schools to help run the service in September. So I know it's a big ask, but what I would love is to be able to call those schools tomorrow, having raised £15,000, and say, we're going to build your network, we're going to run these events, we're going to build the website, and we're going to open up the opportunities for these young people. And I'd love you to help me do that.